Welcome to Wise Beyond Bitcoin, where you come for education, analysis, and opportunities in blockchain and crypto. My name is Lucas.
I'm Jacob.
And again, focusing on the opportunities, there's talk of metaverse, and what is the metaverse, this new world where blockchain and crypto is interacting, where people are coming to, I guess, to interact with each other in this new ecosystem. Is that about right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
The best way to visualize the metaverse, in my opinion, is just think Ready Player One. Um, yeah. If anyone's watched that, you know.
All right. I haven't, but if you have, put in the comment section and let us know. I'll take a look at it after this video. Hit the thumbs up if you like this kind of stuff. If you don't, hit the thumbs up, and also hit the notification bell, hit that alert button, all that good stuff, because we're here to kind of be interactive and show you what's the cutting edge in crypto and blockchain, how to work through these protocols, where to go to participate, where to go to get the airdrops and the giveaways, and how to become involved in the different ecosystems. So, of course, this is not financial advice. This is just educational, entertainment, information, and we're just here learning as much as we can when we can. It's such a fast growing sector in technology. There's no way we can absorb it all. So we do love the interactive community, learn so much from you. So absolutely feel free to drop a comment and some other protocols and ecosystems. And shall we have the time to look into it and absorb it, and we'd be happy to disseminate it and make a video possibly, and help others get to know about it too, because we're all just trying to help these different, I think a lot of these changes DAOs. I mean, what do you say, Jake? I mean, decentralized autonomous organizations, and in many ways, if you are a community member of a blockchain early on or whatever, and you come into it and you start staking and you start getting rewards or what have you, you're there to support the network. It's decentralized, and
Oh,
in a way. So, but I know it's not there. There's such a more pure and meaningful and utilitarian definition of DAOs, which you're familiar with and we'll get more into. But this is more about this
the metaverse.
metaverse. Exactly. So let me not waste any more time. Let's get into it.
So I'm just gonna say right now, we're in the birth of the metaverse. We're already in the metaverse today. And you can see that Web 0.0 was the first version of the internet where people consumed content from static pages. Web 2.0 came out and we had centralized information at an ever scaling rate. People interacted with the content they consumed and even created their own. But as Web 2.0 grew, humanity entered the version 1 of the metaverse, and that's what we would like link to as like a digital social environment where people around the world can interact and share in a culture of the internet. And so the idea of this metaverse is this global internet culture that's being developed over time throughout this us using this technology. And so really what the meat of this article is saying is that as our phones and as our technology is an extension of ourselves, so too is the internet. I mean, it's another technology that we use to connect with people, interact with people, and the internet falls under a very comprehensive structure of rules for us to be able to fall under, and nobody really controls the internet itself as a whole. So we kind of put up this infrastructure to make the metaverse already. It's just about building the metaverse. And so something that I'd like to say is with building this metaverse, we kind of have a bit of a problem, and that problem is mentioned in the next article. It's actually something that we need to be able to deal with. And that problem is, do we have a free and open metaverse, or do we have a digital prison? And if you could just go ahead and go to the next article.
I will, brother. I just thought it would be great right here to end with this article. Like, it's just in harmony with what you're saying. Not
Yeah.
all new concepts fall short of what a metaverse should be. And of course, here, Facebook, it mentions calling their name the metaverse company, or that wants to become, which is what you're, I think, about to allude to, that there's metaverse in name, and then there's metaverse in practice. So
Yeah. And so this is actually an article from Boson, which, thank you for writing this. It's so awesome. They're comparing an open metaverse to a digital prison, and Facebook rebranding to capture a market share in this emerging market of the metaverse is just a play to control the metaverse. You can see this throughout Facebook's current line of products, the Oculus Rift. To even use their VR headset, you have to have a Facebook account. If you don't have a Facebook account, the thing doesn't work. That's what they're doing, is they're harvesting your data and they're harvesting your information. And it's an invasion of privacy. It's an invasion of security. It's a security risk. And it's just not taken seriously. Whereas an open metaverse is vital for, and it needs to be the core component is a open and free metaverse with open source standards that everyone can use, sort of like a Linux of the metaverse. Linux is a free operating system that anyone can use, anyone can audit, and anyone can build on. It's why that Linux is used today, especially in professional environments. If you ask any pen tester what their operating system is, they're gonna say Linux. If you ask a system admin whether or not they need to know Linux, it is the standard to know Linux and how to navigate in Linux. And in the same way that we have this free and open standard, I believe that we'll have this free and open standard with the metaverse. And by having the prospect of Facebook owning the metaverse is really like it's a scary one. The idea that someone is going to control our ability to create content, to share information, to share in emotion and connection. And it's all going to be driven by a single entity. And that's not at the core of what crypto wants to become. And one of the things I love about Boson in particular is Boson happens to want to ensure that we can break free from that by having free and open commerce. And in the same way, they're sort of competing with Amazon. They want to create a decentralized e-commerce system where people can interact within the metaverse and exchange real world goods represented by NFTs. And it's amazing the things that they're building out, because we need a market. We need a metaverse real world connecting market and an e-commerce space that merges these two spaces for the metaverse to come about, for the next evolution of our metaverse, for us to move into a world and connect these two separate universes. We need that e-commerce space. And Boson comes to fill in that space. I think it's amazing the things that are being developed, not just in the gaming space and with games connecting people, but also if you think about it, the way money connects us, the way trade and bartering connects us, the way goods and social aspects connect us. And Boson is trying to tie in with that. And I think as a metaverse token, it's definitely one that's underappreciated at the current moment.
This is a beautiful find, brother. I really appreciate that and their dedication to keeping the Web 3.0 open and truly decentralized and limited barriers to entry. It's really nice to hear people just talking about the technology and those limitations. Like, you mentioned the trilemma and then the layers that are built on top to solve privacy and other things. And we look at Boson protocol, and it feels that they're also there to make sure that the technology is being used to help give people choice, at least freedom of choice, right? So sure, Facebook can have its place, like they say, but let them be a DAO and let them be an organization that people can choose to use, and not be the the only the I suppose the foundation or the monopolistic protocol that's used in order to interact in the metaverse. Let the metaverse be this organic and varied and emerging, beautiful, decentralized commerce ecosystem that everyone can use and anyone can trust. Wow, I fell in at the right place. So yeah, that's just about. This is cool. These are great articles, and we will definitely link as we do. This is for your own research and education. Link them below. And do you got more questions on this, or shall we move to the actual site for Boson protocol?
Yeah, we could move towards the site. They actually just launched a pretty well. I mean, they didn't just launch it, but they're going to launch it. Is on November 18th. Portal launches, which is going to be their portal to be able to interact with the metaverse space. And it's super amazing. They just yesterday put in a teaser video of somebody purchasing a NFT and having it registered as like a real world good, getting it sent to them. And so you can use and transact with smart contracts to have a truly trustless system and use NFTs to avoid double spending. It's such an amazing use case for NFTs, the metaverse, the token itself, the real e-commerce world being integrated with the blockchain technology. And I do believe that this is very much so, in a way, a Amazon competitor. And I believe that the Boson could quite possibly eat a portion of Amazon's market share based off of the fact that it is a metaverse token breaking into this new emerging space as a first mover. There is no one else quite doing the exact same thing. There are competitors within the space, sure, there are, but not in the connected with the metaverse aspect of the token itself. There are other e-commerce ecosystems that use NFTs, such as SHOPX, which we'll get into a little later. But Boson happens to be one that integrates with the metaverse, where you're interacting with it within the metaverse. Much in the same way, in a previous video, we had talked about how DeFi Kingdoms has a DEX within their game.
And check this out. Boson protocol, in good fashion with blockchain and decentralization, giving people control over their data. People can monetize their own commercial data by voluntarily opting into Web3 data marketplaces and giving them a share of the proceeds from their activities, from that data, the value of that data collected. So it's just beautiful to see the efficiency and the value that's returned to the individual user of of any protocol in particular, but in engaging in just basic commerce, e-commerce. Like, it's imagining that for the data that's extracted from you and all your purchases on Amazon, instead of it being sold to other parties without any proceeds coming to you, you can choose which data you release, and you can earn a portion of the value of that information. So I think that's cool. As you mentioned, entering into real world goods, I mean, that's huge. Smart contracts. I know there's a couple of examples of people ordering a pizza on Decentralized, and but finding a protocol that's actually built to allow anyone in a trustless way to engage in this on a regular basis. This is very, very cool. I'm excited. This is a beautiful innovation in blockchain and crypto. I'm curious to know if Boson is going to move off of ERC and bridge onto others in the future, only because of the gas. But I'm also, you look at Harmony One, and you look at what Ethereum is moving towards, and I wonder how much lower the gas fees will be when they move to Ethereum 2.0. Can they keep the protocols that are on? Can they keep the gas fees moderately low? Because if so, that will release and unleash a whole bunch of locked, unintentionally locked liquidity and DeFi protocols in Ethereum that have been locked in due to the egregious gas fees to operate smart contracts. So considering that it's working with smart contracts, that's a question that I have out for the Boson team and Toke community, but I guess I should send them a message. Hashtag them. That's what I'll do. Let's see what else. So so this is cool. Did you want? Are we good on this website? Because
we're good. I think to lead on into the next article is going to be pretty cool, actually. As we were talking about Portal being the physical products that you can buy within the metaverse, you could actually be within the metaverse buying your products. And so if you click pre-register for launch, you can actually pre-register for their launch to be able to interact in this Web3 ecosystem in the metaverse, getting first movers advantage within not only just being in the ecosystem within Decentraland, being able to try out the new things. Boson is honestly pretty generous. They do have events where they've done giveaways in the past, and they have done giveaways. I've taken part in them. I didn't personally win anything, so a little salty. But joking aside, I love that they reward engagement, and I think that that's something that's extremely important. And it goes to show that they really do value community aspects, and they do value the metaverse as a whole and building it out.
This is cool. I'm excited about this community and this team. This is just one of those. I mean, it's like when you see it being developed, you're like, well, of course, that's what crypto and blockchain is all about. But you're right; they're doing a lot of things that nobody else is doing. So until you see it happen, you just don't see it coming. This is a beautiful black swan boson, and I like that. And I'm not the only one who likes that. What's going on with Mr. Jin?
Oh, actually, before that, would you do me a favor? Could you look something up? I actually didn't send this to you, but I meant to. Could you type in SPLYT.org?
Let's see if we did that right on the fly.
Yup.
And here we are. So talk to me about this before we talk about the gin.
So SPLYT is actually SHOPX is the token acronym, but this is a Polkadot project. So potential Polkadot parachain going on here, especially bullish with what's going on within Polkadot.
Very
But
cool. Very cool.
they are essentially trying to create a decentralized they're trying to create a e-commerce system within this crypto space where people can do a lot of the same things that Boson is doing, but they're doing it in more of a traditional e-commerce setup rather than a metaverse integrated Web3 setup. But I still do very much enjoy that they're using NFTs in the supply chain to be able to eliminate double spending, to represent items of goods, to be able to buy things natively on the blockchain. And it gives you ownership rights over the NFTs. It gives you proof of authenticity. It increases the lifetime of customers using goods because there is this brand relations being built that's verifiably proven on the blockchain. And I think that it's a possible competitor that should be looked at and taken seriously. Boson should very much take SHOPX seriously. They have two different niches for sure, but they are ultimately competing in the same space.
And Boson is built currently on Ethereum ERC20. And as you mentioned, SPLYT is working to be a parachain on Polkadot. That's exciting because Polkadot just now released its parachains coming up here this quarter, happening this year, going on, I guess, right now. Did it just start, or is it starting very soon? I should know, but I don't.
It's starting very soon.
Yeah, it's right around the corner. I know that. But so that's cool because the gas fees on Kusama or Polkadot or many of these other channels for smart contract interaction are often a fraction of the cost that you'll find on Ethereum until it's upgrade. So yeah, this is definitely good find, and you're right to put this with Boson. So how do you feel about splitting from the ShopX rewards program and talking about, I'm curious to know about the gin.
Yeah, so Jin happens to be a friend of mine who is I would call him a expert within the Web3 space, within this metaverse space. He truly has an understanding of the use cases of NFTs and the importance of having open decentralization and open source protocols to be able to interact. And so one of the big things that's used throughout this metaverse space is Blender. And Blender is kind of this 3D asset software where you can create assets in a 3D space, and that's how we're replicating these worlds, is these internet cinematic universes. They replicate the real world and the sensations that we feel in the real world in a 3D space. And the way that that's possible is through technology like Blender. And so if Blender was this centralized thing, it has that centralized point of failure, and the metaverse then has a centralized point of failure. And Jin here brings it up in a couple of tweets, and I think it's extremely important that we advocate for a open, free metaverse. And one of the great things that Jin advocates for is he advocates for the VRM file type to be used a lot more within this space, especially in the metaverse, where it's a interoperable file type where you could take it and use it in Unreal Engine. You could use it in Decentraland. You can use it in basically most ecosystems, if you're VTubing, if you're using 3D asset software, a VRM file type is the most interoperable file type currently. And being able to go to VR expos, being able to do these things is only possible because of the VRM file type.
Dig it. Very cool. I like what he says about, I have some thoughts about the next phase of NFTs, gaming, social media, and storytelling. Going to try to explain what an internet cinematic universe, ICU, is. By the way, you're in one right now. I mean, yeah, obviously, if you think about it, we are, when you engage in the virtual, in the internet, you're in this cinematic universe of websites and videos. And just as the technology gets, develops and gets more intricate, we find that that cinematic universe becomes, more VR, virtual reality, more realistic. I mean, even if you look at the cartoon movies made for children today versus the cartoon movies made for children, when I was growing up, dare I say, or when people older than me were growing up. And I've actually, I was just talking to some friends of mine, their parents aside, and are we good on the gin? Their children said they can't watch the old Disney cartoons because the graphics looks so unrealistic to them. Yeah. And that's just the way. But when we were growing up, it was like, whoa, look at this. You get immersed in that cinematic universe. So the internet cinematic universe is definitely developing. And one of the ways you can take these NFTs and you can store them, and do a lot of fun things and see them in a very nice, clean way meant to interact in Web 3.0 is the xDeFi wallet. And you found this, Jacob. What is that? Did I say that about right?
Oh yeah, so this is a wallet that puts NFTs first and foremost, and it's actually a multi-chain wallet. So they aim to work and interact across different blockchain applications, and they want to become essentially a MetaMask competitor. They want to take that market share away from them. And the way that they plan to do that is by putting NFTs first, putting the user interface first, making everything very clean and organized, and the Web3 experience being more of a point and click rather than reading the hexadecimal or having to adjust manually the gas fee.
Paste an address to import something that they might have a list of tokens that you just click on. And
exactly. And they're I like the fact that they have a display for your NFTs, unlike MetaMask.
This is awesome. We are not sponsored, so if you like this knowledge drop and you like this channel, this technical information, and you find value and it's helping you out, of course, we've got a list of links to share the love. But in order for you to get to those links, you need to know how to get involved in DeFi. So don't give us any fish until you've taken your pole out there and you've caught some fish and you just want to share some love. We appreciate that. And we appreciate staying on top of this information and keeping you abreast of the latest and greatest, the secrets, all the secrets going on in crypto and in blockchain. Speaking of secrets, one of my favorite protocols, the Secret Network, which is another IBC in the family, and they've got connections now to Lunaterra and Cosmos, and they're doing things with the video. As you meant, we've got a video on this, Jacob. Remember Shade Protocol?
Yep, and they also even got connections to all kinds of other blockchains due to other things that we talked about with AnySwap.
Yep. So this is just a gem in crypto, and they are also coming out with a marketplace for private NFTs. Well, that makes sense, because how many people are able to purchase and exchange, sell, whatever you want to call it, trade art between people without having to make a big hullabaloo and public ledger display for the whole world to see? I mean, that's great to offer NFTs to be exchanged in a private way. It's just a natural and beautiful organic, in the metaverse. I like how Boson said it. You should be able to choose between Facebook and or to operate outside of it. And that's what things like the secret network, it's yeah, many ledgers in business and in work and in commerce, it's good for them to just be transparent. It makes the bookkeeping easy. But there's also work in life that people do that isn't commercial and isn't meant to be in that public sphere, and allowing, like in the metaverse, to give the opportunity for both, have what's able to be public and then have also what's able to be private, right?
Exactly. And Stashh is going to be an NFT marketplace for you to be able to buy your secret NFTs. And what's actually awesome is they actually had their very first NFT launch a little while back. The NFTs themselves, you had to mint directly from a website, and you would mint it either there from the contract, and that's already said and done. But this is a whole hub, not just one NFT launch, but rather a hub that allows you to buy NFTs in a decentralized, open, private way that's not giving any ties to your identity, to what you own. And it allows you to have your art and not dox yourself. If you're, let's say, using your profile picture on your Twitter or using it for social media. And I think one of the things that a lot of people don't realize in this blockchain space is when you use your NFT as your Twitter profile picture, it doesn't matter how well you covered up everything as far as making sure that no one has knowledge of who you are on the blockchain, because maybe you live in a country where blockchain technology is frowned upon. If you use it in your social media, anyone can just see your social media. They could use that social media data location. They could harvest information from your social media about you, and they could use that to determine who you are.
And some of it's to protect you from spam. I just saw this. This is funny. I didn't even know. So I'm sure, of course, the moment you can create NFTs, there's a place where people are making illicit or explicit, some explicit. Okay, I don't know what's explicit, not illicit.
Like adult content, but unwarranted.
Well, I thought that'd be illicit, but explicit. Okay. So, but what's funny is that someone took the Visa public address because they're on Ethereum, and they received a bunch of junk NFTs, explicit NFTs, once their wallet was doxxed after the purchase of one. People could track after they purchased one, and that was made news. Then people found the address and they could just spam it with explicit NFTs. So, but yeah, that's cool. Creators of NFTs who want the ability to gain access to components, their content and art behind the purchase of an NFT, enabling monetization and creating a direct relationship with collectors and communities. So there's now, which exists in real life, there are private clubs and private communities that talk about art and different things. So this is beautiful. A natural evolution and iteration of blockchain and crypto. I love what the secret network is doing. This is just cool.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm actually just waiting for it to launch.
Well, as soon as it does, shortly thereafter, very quickly, we shall be giving people the updates on what's happening and where to go. And of course, we'll have to do it in maintaining a private by default layer one foundation or video. But beyond that, the journey is just beginning, absolutely just beginning. This is exciting. Good find, brother. So I am going to stash this article. Of course, we're going to link below, all stash all the links below, and talk about maybe in the vein of NFTs, what's going on here with the NFT token teleport.
So everyone understands our last couple videos. We were talking about bridges. Bridges for NFTs tend to have a problem. You're creating a synthetic version of your NFT, and so you no longer have just one non-fungible token, but rather you have a non-fungible token that is on another chain, and this one on another chain is a derivative of your original NFT. Your original NFT is just being held in a smart contract where it is just locked away until you lock this derivative version of your NFT that's on the other blockchain. And it tends to come with its own subset of problems. If you, let's say, bridge your NFT 3 chains down, you're going to have to do the reversal all the way back the same exact way. And if you don't, you permanently destroy your metadata. And it's just, it could be a total nightmare and a mess. And this is a problem that a lot of people have been looking to solve. And Scotty here just solved it with the NFT token teleporter. And this is hugely important. Interoperability is hugely important for a thriving metaverse. So being able to take your NFTs from chain to chain to chain to chain, and being able to do so in a secure way using a teleporter rather than a bridge is just amazing. It's going to allow for that NFT interoperability better than, let's say, the Solana wormhole, or better than, let's say, the Horizon bridge for the Harmony One token. And instead of having those risks associated with bridging your NFTs over, you can have your one NFT be bridging across multiple chains.
Very cool. ETH, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Solana, Polkadot, Flow, and others. A docking station to bridge your tokens from any blockchains, your NFTs, create your NFT tokens in any chain in one click. This is cutting edge stuff. This is very, very, very cool, man. Good find, brother.
Oh yeah, and definitely take a look at some of those partnerships too. I think those are pretty important. Maven Capital, Magnus Capital, two very big names in my opinion. I like to see partnerships like these.
Look at that. They got a whole bunch more of great.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
If you just look through all of them, there's just there's some notable names, and there's some that I quite honestly just haven't heard of. But it's always important to do the research on the partnerships as well.
And to follow them on Twitter, Telegram, check out their Medium articles, read the pitch deck, download the PDF. Of course, we got the link to the whole website here that we shall link, and check out the app and just check out Beam Me Up, Scotty. This is a beautiful solution to, as you mentioned, one of the limitations in crypto with NFTs and interoperability. So congratulations to ScottyBeam and what he's created and accomplished, and may crypto and blockchain and technology continue to flourish and grow as we continue to another mention of ScottyBeam and a community sale guide. Talk about this.
Yeah, so this is actually super cool because you can actually take part within the community sale of their token. ScottyBeam token is going to be able to be utilized within the ecosystem, and it's interesting because I believe that one of the gamified aspects of this token is helping be a cheaper cost when you're teleporting using the ScottyBeam itself, or possibly even needing the token itself to be able to teleport across chains.
Mhm.
I'm not 100% sure myself on the actual gamified use case of the token, but I understand the technology and the weight it carries. So I'm personally interested in doing a bit more due diligence on the token ecosystem as things develop, and it's definitely something that I'm keeping an eye on. But me personally, I don't like taking part in token sales that do KYC.
Yeah, that require it. I was going to say this is kind of counter to what Boson is working to do, and more in the Facebook meta, kind of direction. However, I don't think that's not necessary at all to use the tool.
No, and the best part is actually if you do want tokens, you don't even have to go through KYC. You can do what I'm doing, which is in the next article. They actually have a giveaway for their tokens, and so they're airdropping a set amount of Beam tokens and 10 NFTs that they're just choosing, and they're going to be doing it on November 29th. All you have to do is just follow the instructions here and you could possibly win. It's free to try. It doesn't take anything more than just your time. And I honestly would say you never know. You could end up lucky. There's a lot of entries, but you never know.
And if you are, and you're like, oh man, thank you, Jacob Wise, you can send a portion to our address below. Wait, oh, it's only going to be one NFT. Is it going to be an NFT airdrop?
Actually, it's going to be
It's
10
token.
NFTs and tokens.
All right, yeah, you can definitely send us a portion, and yeah, that's it. That's straight up. That's what you can. No, I'm just kidding. I was going to say, and we'll give it to Jacob because this is purely Jacob's fine. But no, you know what? I would totally want to have one of those NFTs. That'd be too cool.
Oh
So
yeah.
hopefully, you know what? There's enough love to go around. In reality, I hope that someone is able to get rewarded from this information and is able to partake and get and benefit and get some tokens or get an NFT. So if you can, all that we would like is a thumbs up on this and maybe a comment saying thank you. That'd be kind of cool. But notification bell and all that good stuff, that love and support, that's what means the most is to these hosts is all right. So what about this? Are we good?
So Casper is also doing an NFT giveaway. And speaking on giveaways, we've got one more after this. Casper is launching their very first ever NFT. And this is very interesting because Casper has a certain relationship with one of my favorite tokens, Wise Token. Wise Token happens to be creating the first automatic market maker for Casper. So with them having their first NFT series talking about possible use cases in the future with utility, it makes you think if whether or not Wise Token may or may not be involved, and that's it's very interesting for me to think about. I personally want to get my hands on one. I love that there is no purchase for this NFT. The only way you can get this NFT is through this giveaway, and there's only going to be 100. And so it creates scarcity. There's going to be demand, and it's all randomized. It's all fair. And I really enjoy that. I think Casper knocked it out of the park with this fair model fair launch model. And in the spirit of a fair launch model, this is kind of why I have a feeling that Wise token might have a part to play with this NFT series. I have zero clue. That's honestly just speculation because of the nature of the fair launch of the Wise token and the fair launch of this NFT project. It just seems that they're correlated, but correlation isn't causation.
That's
Or
true.
causation isn't correlation, whatever.
You get it right.
Okay.
So that's true. And I gotta say, when I was a youngin, when I was very young, and I was watching these young cartoons, I really liked Casper the Friendly Ghost, because people were always freaking out with Ghostbusters and afraid of ghosts, and I was like, but have you seen Casper? Because there's in the world of ghosts, there's some friendly ones. So and Casper is proof. And so I mean, look at all these guys. Look at all these guys. Look at this guys. Come on, you need to cheer up, Casper. This is cool. I would like to, I hope to, and would like to enter into this. We'll see what happens. A Casper wallet. Where do you get one of those?
You would actually download Casper Signer. And so Casper Signer is much like a MetaMask extension.
Yep.
And you, much like in the Cosmos ecosystem or the Terra Luna ecosystem, where you interact with the plugin with the website, you do the same thing just as you would all Web3 ecosystems.
Dig it. And I dig the Casper NFTs. I dig that fair launch style. I can see why you would see the correlation. And also Wise Token, they're doing some really neat stuff with NFTs and DeFi as well. So I can see another reason why. But regardless, this is just really cool for Casper ecosystem and NFT community. And what's going on with
this is the last giveaway. In the spirit of just giving away, we want to give away some value, or at least try to give away some value to you. And so Argent happens to be another wallet, much like the other wallet that we had brought up, xDeFi. Argent is a wallet also centered around layer 2 solutions and specifically security. We've brought up Argent before in a previous video, but for those of you who don't remember, Argent is a wallet that allows you the security of not needing to remember your seed phrase. And it's extremely interesting the way that they make this work as far as like a wallet standpoint. But I love the fact that they're doing this sweepstakes giveaway crypto. It's a sizable amount of crypto that could possibly change someone's life. Even just $1,000 for most Americans is going to change their life. If you have that $1,000 anywhere else, it's going to change anyone else's life. There's hardly any other country where $50,000, $100,000, $1,000 won't do someone some good. And I love that. I love when ecosystems are giving back.
Very cool. We will definitely link this below so that you can partake. Verify your email. You can refer friends, follow and tweet just to boost your chances, but it doesn't cost anything to play. And the reward, this is great. You're right. That is life changing. Well, first of all, $1,000 in crypto today, what that is 5 to 10 years from now, is life changing as well. The blockchain, the transfer of generational wealth going into this new technology and ecosystem has already and continues to be life changing for many people. Look, it's life changing. It's a blessing to be able to take the time to research this and be a part of these communities, even if it's just through research sometimes and trying to stay abreast, and sharing that knowledge with others. So thank you, Jacob, for your research and the bringing this whole NFT, the metaverse, and how to store it, where to go, and kind of the debate, the harmonious debate between, you know, how do we want to see the metaverse function? Do we want to see it in that prison style controlled monopolized setting, or do we want to see it flourish in this new open setting where people have choices and options, and it's more interoperable? So what you got? Anything else?
I was just gonna say, I think the overall culture within the metaverse and this Web3 ecosystem and this crypto space is sovereignty. And I think that's something that we all universally across the board agree on. That's why a lot of us invest in this technology, especially a lot of us early movers. We invest for the digital sovereignty. We invest for the security of our money, for better money systems, for the sovereignty of the metaverse, for interoperability within these assets. And it's just amazing to see all of this taking place.
The free flow of information and how it's all built from decentralized networks, how someone living in this part of the world, someone living in that part of the world can both speak, where code is law, both can speak a language that they communicate and build these beautiful networks based upon that shared language. So, you know, it doesn't have to be brick and mortar buildings. We can also build beautiful ecosystems with shared language. And this is a new use of language. And of course, with that, a new jargon and language is being built. And that's kind of part of what the metaverse is. It's just a new layer being built on top of previous technologies and iterations. Well, that's why they call it DeFi 2.0. We call some of these videos, and it's Web 3.0 is what is often referred to for MetaMask and these applications to interact with the blockchain and the metaverse. So, you know, Web 3.0, Web 3.152, however you want to describe it, it's definitely an evolution and a layer added, just standing on the shoulders of those giants that came before and those that are around us today. Like Jacob, thank you for this research, man. These are some good finds. We will link all these articles below. Did we get it all?
Yeah, we got it all.
Well, then I say until the next time, have a beautiful day and namaste.
Later.